Hello, everyone. Welcome to Diego Knows. I am Diego. Today, we're going to talk about Sex and the City, the original show from the late 90s and the early 2000s, back when the show was good. I am Diego, and I've watched every single episode and both movies, and I watched that piece of crap, and just like that, unfortunately. Yeah, that's the show that just keeps giving. But we're not talking about that show today. We're talking about the original show, Sex and the City. The episode we're on right now is season 2, episode 4. Okay, and this episode is called "They Shoot Single People, Don't They?" All right. So what my job is here to do is I want to explain to you from a straight man's point of view what Sex and the City was like. Okay. The show was written by feminists, lesbians, and gay guys. Okay, and it was written. I wasn't the target audience. Okay, so it was written for women. Okay, to explain their sex lives and stuff. And the women on the show became icons. Okay, they really did, and very well written girls. And I love the show. I legitimately love the show. The only problem I have with the show is I don't like the way they were portraying straight men. And sure enough, there was no straight men involved in making this show. Okay, so I always felt like, okay, you got all these straight guys in all these episodes, but they're not really acting like straight guys, okay? Like, how come no one's raising the bullshit flag? How come there's no guys in the writer's room? They're going like, wait a minute, no guy would ever do that. You know why? Because there were no straight guys in the writer's room, okay? So who ends up being the butt of every joke? Okay, we are, okay? So that's the only thing I didn't like about the show. And because the show was so popular amongst women, I mean, all the women I knew at the time, all the hot young women I knew at the time, they were all watching the show, okay? And they were all talking about it, And I initially started watching the show because I wanted to get involved with it. I wanted to know what they were talking about, who these characters were, and I got hooked, okay? Now, I know a lot of the guys, none of my guy friends watch the show because, it wasn't for them. They didn't really like it, okay? But a lot of us watch The Sopranos. So one of the things that I understood about Sex and the City, the reason I never boycotted the show, the reason I didn't say the show sucked, okay, back then, was because I was watching Sopranos too, okay? And an argument could be made, all right, that the women on the show were promoting promiscuity, and they were. They were promoting it, that it's okay for women to sleep around, But the women that were doing that back then, because of the show or whatever, well, they're kind of paying for it now, okay? But they were promoting that stuff. They're promoting, yeah, it's okay to fuck as many people as you want, as many guys as you want, it's okay to do that. And I couldn't really judge them on that, because here I am, like, okay, well, if I were to raise this moral flag, okay, on women doing that, then they would have to, and to get rid of the show, then they would have to get rid of Sopranos too. And I love Sopranos, okay? Sopranos was, it wasn't what guys do. Most guys aren't like Tony Soprano and his crew, but most of us guys talk like that, okay, minus the Jersey accents, okay? But most of us, that's the way we talk to each other, okay? And the stuff that guys in The Sopranos do is just, I mean, it's men at their worst. Yes, men really do that stuff. And it's at their worst. It's like showing the worst qualities of men, okay? But I'm enjoying it. It's like watching a train wreck, I know guys like this. Of course, I was in the military, okay? I know lots of guys like this, okay, like Sopranos, okay? I might have even been one of them, Shit, so I probably acted like that sometimes, but so how can I parade a show like Sopranos and talk about how great that is, because the guys do a lot of fucking nasty things on that show, but yet put down Sex and the City because the girls do nasty things. I can't. I'm not a hypocrite. I'm not a hypocrite. I'm a lot of things. I'm not a hypocrite. All right. So I never like judge the show. Go, oh, only sluts watch that show. No, I never did that. Okay. But yeah, that is what the show is. Okay. So anyway, so let's start talking about this episode here. Okay, to start off with, they shoot single people, don't they? Okay, so it starts off with the salsa dancing. All the girls are salsa dancing. They're celebrating the fact that none of them have boyfriends. Okay, so they're celebrating the fact that none of them are in a relationship. Okay, so they're partying there. Okay, and Carrie's got some moves. She's got some moves. And you got to remember, she was in Footloose. Remember that scene in Footloose when she was at the country western bar? So she can dance, not as good as Kevin Bacon. Of course not. But she can dance. Remember, she went there with Chris Penn, who's Sean Penn's brother. Remember, and she was doing her stuff. Yeah. Sarah Jessica Parker's been around a long fucking time. But anyway, yeah. So she's doing some moves like she did in Footloose. And what do you call it? So I noticed that the guys, everyone there is pretty well dressed, like it's salsa stuff, right? But they're all wearing like open collared shirts, The clothes look expensive and nice, but they're all open collared and loose fitting, okay, which is what you want to wear when you're dancing. There's one guy there who's wearing a full blown suit and tie, okay, to the max. I mean, he looks like fucking Desi Arnaz, all right? And he's walking around there, and I'm like, dude, aren't you hot? Like, everyone's dancing and moving and sweating, and you're wearing a suit and tie to the dance floor? Like, that's got to be pretty uncomfortable, But I noticed him because of that. Anyway, he's looking at Samantha, and raising his glass. Okay, so she's giving him the fuck me eyes too. Whatever. Later on, he invites her out. Like, hey, you want to go do something? She's like, oh no, I'm with my girlfriends. It's girls' night out today. Men allowed. That kind of thing. Whatever. Anyway, so he invites her. He owns. I guess he's one of the owners of the club. So he invites her to do something. I don't know. You know what he's really inviting her to do. Okay, so Samantha tells. She tells Carrie, like, enjoy men, but don't expect them to fill your needs, to fill you up. He says, enjoy men, but don't expect them to fill you up unless it's, to fill you up. So of course, Samantha just looks at sex like, hey, men are just there to fuck and that's it. Okay. Which, I don't like it when people say, that I have sex the way men do, because that's bullshit. Okay. People have sex that way. Men and women have sex that way. Men do not own the monopoly. Who the fuck do you think they're having sex with? They're having sex with women. Okay. So if a man is using a woman for sex and women is using a man for sex, then it's something that both of them do, not something that men do exclusively. That's bullshit. I hate it when women say that. Men and women use each other for sex. Okay. Not all men and not all women. Okay. But they do. All right. So anyway, Carrie is doing Carrie tells the other girl she's doing a photo shoot the next day. She's got to get up early. I guess Stanford's dating some photographer who's going to put her. They're going to do a photo shoot with her. She's one of 20 people selected for a photo shoot called Single and Fabulous with an exclamation mark. All right. So she's got to leave early, but for some reason she decides not to. She decides just to drink the night away and party and dance all night long, and she does. So anyway, she ends up getting back to her place and she oversleeps. So they're blowing up her phone, calling, where are you? You're supposed to be here. You're late. Blah, blah. So Carrie's all flipped out. She has no time to do her makeup, no time to do her hair, no time to do nothing. She puts her clothes on. She gets her ass over to the photo shoot as fast as possible. When she gets there, she meets Stanford's gay boyfriend, Devlin or whatever. She's like, oh, I'm so sorry, I'm late, blah, blah, blah. He's like, okay. He's like, you're like a month late. And he's just like his asshole, like his gay asshole, and he sends her over there and the photographer's there and she's like, just adjusting her. And Carrie's still smoking her cigarette. She has not done her makeup. She's not done her hair. She's still wearing the same clothes that she put on as soon as she got up, a little while ago. She looks like shit. Okay. She looks like shit. Okay. Sorry. She don't look that great. Okay. Sarah Jessica Parker looked good back then, but she's just not made up. Okay. She looks raw. Okay. That's the best way I can say. She looks raw. Okay. I didn't mean to say she looks like shit. She looks raw. Okay. And of course, one thing I noticed about it is she's still fucking holding the cigarette. Like the whole time they're telling her, hey, okay, move over here, but she's like, is it okay if I smoke? And the photographer's like, I don't care if you shoot up, like they're not even paying attention to her, but like, if it were me, I'd be like, at least fucking put the cigarette out. Do you want that to show up? Because they're just taking candid pictures of her, like, do you really want that cigarette to show up in the picture, And I'm not judging. I used to smoke back then too, okay? So I understand, okay? But even me, like if I was getting my picture taken, I wouldn't have the cigarette in my hand, I'd put it away at least, But anyway, so that happens. So she's completely unprepared for the photo shoot, and she's still hungover and all that kind of shit, and the coffee and all that. So yeah, she's kind of fucked up. And like I said, Devlin's being an asshole. Okay, so makeup. Okay, so she starts power walking with the other girls, with Miranda and Charlotte. And oh my God, Charlotte's doing this. I mean, not Charlotte. Miranda's doing this fucking going down like, I think this was like a fad that lasted like 30 minutes back in the late 90s, and then people just quit doing it. Remember like Tybo, remember that? It like came and went, and then Zumba later on. Okay, so like these fads keep coming. I think power walking was like a fad back then, and if it was a fad, if it was in the cultural zeitgeist and it had to be on Sex and the City and it had to be on like Saturday Night Live, okay? So they were doing that, and just Miranda's doing this stupid ass dance. Like, you look like an idiot. You look like an idiot. But they're doing it. They're in Central Park doing their fucking power walking. And of course, Carrie smoked all of her cigarettes while she was power walking with the girls. So now she's out of cigarettes. Hey, I kind of like that touch, because I used to smoke back then too. So I understand. I totally understand. Yes. Yeah, I used to smoke back then. God, that was a long time ago. All right. Okay, so power walking. Anyway, Miranda runs into this guy named Josh. So rather than him say hi to her, hey, give me a call sometime, he just decides to start jogging backwards. Oh, hey, Miranda. Hey, I thought that was you. Hey, it's been a while since I talked to you. Yeah, you know what? I was wondering, maybe, you still got my number. You should give me a call, Okay, well, it's good to see you too. Hey, nice to meet you, girls. Bye. Like, what the fuck is this? Who the fuck does that? I don't know which one is worse, that Miranda didn't stop to talk to him, or that this fucker just decided he was going to jog backwards. What the fuck? Who talks to anybody this way? This is stupid. And well, Miranda blows him off, and she tells the girls that she blew him off because like she dated him before, and she used to have to fake her orgasms with him. All right, and and Charlotte's like, well, orgasms aren't everything. She's like, if I'm not getting orgasms, what's the point? Hey, they both got points there, but I mean, it all depends. What's important to you? Do you want to? I mean, obviously for Miranda, it's important that she gets off. That's probably the number one priority for her is that she gets an orgasm. Her partner gives her an orgasm. They got to be able to do that. Number one, she's got to have an orgasm. Number two, probably they have to like do whatever she says. Okay, like be obedient to her. Number three, they have to tell her how great she is all the time. Because she's a princess, she's a queen. So yeah, I mean, there's no, and if Miranda finds a guy like that, then I got a fucking bridge in Lollipop Land. I want to fucking sell her. Okay. Anyway, so that's her standards because, she looks so great that she needs those standards, because only the best of the best would ever want to be with Miranda, Let me tell you something, Miranda. The guys that know how to fuck, the guys that know how to give women orgasms, okay, they learned, they weren't born that way, okay? They learned how to do that from practice, okay? They had lots of sexual partners. They learned things. Every sexual partner taught them something, okay? And that's how they got good at it, okay? And once you're at that level where you're really that good and making girls get off, okay, then you're in demand from the higher end girls, okay? Like the girls that all the men want to have sex with, okay? All of a sudden now they want to be with you because you know what you're doing, okay? Okay, so think about it for a second, Miranda. If he's really good and if he's good at getting women off, then he's gonna have the best. He's gonna have the best pedigree. He's gonna have the best women that want him. Okay, so if he's really good at getting girls off, and he's got like the tens and nines and tens that all want him, then why the fuck would he want to go out with you? Okay, what do you bring to the table? Nothing. Okay. Okay. So maybe you gotta lower your standards a little bit. Okay. All right. Maybe you're not so fucking perfect either. That maybe someone perfect shouldn't be with you, or you're gonna be with, Can you get a guy off every time? Can you? I don't know. I doubt it. But oh well. Back then, Okay, so that's going on. What else? Charlotte says it's okay to fake the orgasm. I told you Miranda says no, it's not. Okay, so Carrie goes to buy some cigarettes because she ran out. Okay, and she sees the magazine cover for the photo shoot. She's on the cover of that photo shoot, and it's her looking raw. The black eyes, no makeup, the fucked up hair, the dumb look on her face, the cigarette in her hand. She just looks raw. Okay, and underneath it says single and fabulous, but not with an exclamation mark, but with a question mark. What? Okay, so we obviously know what this is all about now. So she has no control over the context of this photo shoot. She had no idea she'd be on the cover, or that instead of celebrating single and fabulous, they're actually like making fun of it. And they use her as the poster girl for that. Yeah, that'd be pretty humiliating. But it's funny. It's funny, and it provides a challenge for Carrie. And that's what I liked about the show is these women on the show were not Mary Sue's, okay? The fact that they're beautiful women does not mean that they get no problems, that everyone bends over to them. They don't. They get put in humiliating situations. They make mistakes. Bad things happen to them, and we see them overcoming these things. We see how they deal with them. That's what makes the show so good. It wasn't like like say like a Black Widow movie or like Rey Skywalker from Star Wars, where everything's perfect. Everyone loves her. She can kick everybody's ass. She has no problems. Like nobody can hurt her. She's smarter, tougher, stronger, more likable than anybody else ever. She's the bestest ever. Strong, independent woman. Like what the fuck? No, that's not realistic. That's boring. Who wants to see fucking strong, independent women? Even someone like Superman. Even Superman's got weaknesses that you can exploit to get to him, to hurt him, to kill him. He's not like fucking Captain Marvel. She's just, I got a pussy, so I'm stronger than everybody else. It's not like that at all. These women have problems. They suffer through stuff. They deal with things. That's what makes them likable. That's what makes them relatable. And Carrie's no different. That's one of the reasons I love the show. It's because I love seeing that. I love seeing them, get humiliated. How are they going to deal with it? That's pretty good writing. Okay, so so that's going on. Single and fabulous. She starts reading the article to her friends at the diner. It says how fun is all the all-night club hopping when you're 40. How fun is all that? And of course, Samantha's like, who's 40? you're not. You're over 40. So basically, we're all like, fuck that. They're making fun of us, you know? And of course, Miranda's like, oh, people write these fucking articles to scare women into getting married. That's all it is. You know? I'm just like, come on, shut the fuck up, all right? Let me tell you something. You know what? If women are getting scared into being married, are they marrying themselves? No, they're not. They're marrying men too, okay? And if women are scared to get married, don't you think men are scared to get married, okay? So don't you think maybe it's society and not specifically men that are, you know, that are you know, kind of like pushing women to get married? You know, I mean, it's not that way anymore, okay? But, you know, I mean, society's always pushed people to get married, men and women, you know, always. You know, like, don't think that for 1 second that you've got it, you know, worse than we do. You don't. If anything, we got it worse than you, okay? Because we have to carry all the responsibility, but yet you want to have all the fucking power. You know, that's not very equal, you know? You know, it's not. You know, so, like, you know, everyone talks about like you know, well, back in the 50s, men controlled everything and women couldn't do anything. You know, let me tell you something, okay? The only difference between now and back then, okay, is that women still did the same shit they're doing today, okay? The exact same shit. The only thing is they didn't report it as much back then. That's the only difference, okay? It wasn't made public, okay? That's the only difference because the Christian community had such a hold on the media back then, which they don't anymore, and they haven't for a long time, okay? But all the shit that's going on now already happened before. It happened way back in the day, okay? So no, it's never been like men always dominated women. It's never really been that way, you know? Okay, so what really changed everything was actually when they introduced the pill in the 60s, you know? When you could have sex and not get pregnant. That's when everything got fucked up, okay? But that was before our time, so, you know. Okay, so Miranda, they don't believe, okay. Miranda starts seeing Josh again. I don't know why. And I kind of recognize him. He was in that movie with Mel Gibson called What Women Want, where Mel Gibson can read all women's minds. He was like the guy that worked there, that worked with Mel Gibson, that would like idolize Mel Gibson because Mel Gibson was the guy that got all the girls, you know. I just remember him from that. I don't remember his name or anything, you know. But anyway, she starts seeing Josh again. Why? Why? I don't know. Is Miranda that lonely that she's going to fuck someone that's not going to get her off? I don't get it. But anyway, she starts seeing him again. She starts fucking him again. Of course, she starts faking it again. And we get to see the whole thing, you know. She's, you know, he's doing his, oh, God. Look, man. I don't know. All I know is my experience, okay? And I sure as fuck don't do that during sex. So I don't know. Maybe some of you women know guys that do that or do worse. I don't know. But I know that ain't me, okay? No. All right. And I don't need to see that. I don't need to see you guys' face. You know, I don't even want to see my face when I'm doing it, okay? Anyway, so Samantha starts seeing William guy. I guess the salsa guy, the Puerto Rican salsa guy, the guy that owns the club. Even though his name's William, no, his name should be Guillermo. Okay, Guillermo is Spanish for William, okay? I don't know why he goes by an Anglican English name, you know, when his name's Guillermo. Anyway, and I know that because I'm Mexican. All right. Charlotte has a friend named Tom, and he's like basically the fix-it guy. He lives in her apartment building, and whenever like, you know, she needs her DVD player hooked up, or she needs, you know, her like her garbage disposal fixed or that kind of thing, he's like an amateur handyman. He'll come by with his toolbox and he'll fix whatever she needs. Okay, because he's her friend, you know. He's also an actor, an out-of-work actor. Like he's trying to make it, you know, in New York as an actor, and it's not going so well. So he decides that, you know, he tells Charlotte like, hey, I'm not gonna be able to come help you out anymore. You know, I'm moving to Salt Lake City. I got offered a part on a Christian soap opera. It's the best I can get right now, so I'm leaving the city. You know, so I'm not gonna be here anymore. So I'm not gonna be able to fix your stuff anymore. And once Charlotte realizes this guy's gone, he's leaving, all of a sudden she's like, oh, now all of a sudden he's attractive. Now all of a sudden she wants to like have sex with him, you know? And so she ended up seducing him, you know, and they end up having sex, you know, and like all of a sudden, like once he said that he's leaving, now all of a sudden he became attractive to her. Well, we'll get to that later. Okay, so that happens. Okay, then the guys, she wants to, okay, so now we get to the thesis of the episode. Is called, is it better to fake it than to be alone? Is it better to fake it than to be alone? So that's the thesis of this episode. Okay, that's the theme, okay? So once again, we go to the first person point of views, which you know I fucking hate. You know, they're interviewing some woman, shucking the cameras, go, oh, my boyfriend likes thin and blonde, you know? So no, I am one. You know, another person says like, I think my wife's an idiot. He's like, every day is like a fucking trip to idiot land. But I can't tell her that because she'll leave me. who's a real idiot here, right? Okay, this woman's with her boyfriend. He's deaf because he's sign languaging her, and she's just looking at him, and she looks at the camera, and goes like, "I don't know sign language." So that's kind of funny. Okay, so yes, we all lie. Okay, we all lie. Okay, sometimes we turn our relationships into something that they're not. Okay, because it makes us feel better. Hey, I'm guilty of that too. I think everybody's guilty of that. Sometimes, I mean, there's got to be a balance there, okay? There's got to be some sort of a compromise, but yet not giving yourself up completely. No partner that I've ever had or that you'll ever have is going to be everything to you, okay? So, like, you have to take the good with the bad. What are you willing to tolerate, and what are you just going to draw the line on and say, no, this is a deal breaker. You cannot be like this, We all have different levels of that. So if I can get at least most of what I can tolerate, but all of what I will not tolerate, then I'm okay. I can sacrifice some stuff, okay? As long as it doesn't involve me having to change my personality or my belief system, then yeah. So if she likes, red and I like blue, okay, big deal. I can put up with that, But if she like, she, if she wants to do, like, if she likes to, I don't know, fucking like eat strawberries or something, all the time. Then I'm like, well, fuck no, and I can't be with you because I'm allergic to that shit and I can't have it in the house. It makes me sick just smelling it, so that's a deal breaker, I could have said something else, but I was trying to keep it a little bit clean here, all right? So, so, so that would be a deal breaker. So everyone, there's a give and take. No one's going to be everything for you. And sometimes you just put up with stuff because it's better than going out there and trying to find someone again, Like I said, it's easier for women to get laid than it is for guys, but, it's harder for women to get into a relationship with a high value guy. Okay, okay, you can easily get a relationship with a guy who's 35 and lives with his mom in the basement. Whose diet consists of RC and fucking Cheetos. Okay, it'd be pretty easy to get a guy like that to fall in love with you and be your boyfriend. Okay, it'd be really easy for that. Okay, so I'm not saying it's not easy for you to get a relationship. Okay, it's hard to get the type of guy that you want. Okay, it's harder for you to get a relationship with the type of guy that you want. Okay, it's easy to fuck the guy that you want. It's harder to get into a relationship with the guy you want. Okay, and for us, it's harder to get the girl we want, to have sex with the girl we want. Okay, but it's easy to get a relationship with a girl we don't want. Isn't it funny how life works? Oh well. Moving right along. Girls watch this movie. Okay, Miranda gets pissed off because in the movie the guy gets on top of the girl, pumps like 3 times, and she has an orgasm. It's like, you see, guys watch shit like this and they think that's all there is to do. Like, they don't have to do any work. There's no work involved. Like, that's all they have to do to get a girl off. Yeah, like, we all believe that. Okay, let me tell you something, Miranda. All right, okay? Unless the guy is like fucking 16, 17, well, if he's 16, you shouldn't be fucking having sex with him. You go to jail. But if you're like 17, 18, 19, he's kind of new, with the exception of a guy like that, if the guy's like in his 30s or something, or late 20s or something, okay, he knows his way. Okay, he knows what a clitoris is. Okay, he knows what a G-spot is. And he knows where they are. Okay, so if the guy is not fucking, if he's not, stimulating those parts of you, okay, it's either because he doesn't know, which I doubt. I mean, that information is readily available everywhere. Okay, or he doesn't care. Okay, more likely he doesn't care. All right. So you have to make him care, right? Now, me personally, hey, you know what? I can't read your mind. Okay, I don't know what feels good and what doesn't because I'm not in your fucking body. I don't feel what you're feeling. Okay, just like you can't read my mind. Same thing. Like when a girl tries to do something to me, like, oh, you're going too fast. You're going too fast. Or oh, slow it down. Don't squeeze it that tight. That kind of thing. For us, okay, that's because you can't read our mind. You don't know what we're feeling. Okay, you don't know, and you're not supposed to know. Okay, because you can't read my mind. All right, so I got to explain it to you. Same thing with women. You got to explain it to them. What feels good, what doesn't feel good. Okay, my best advice to you is, don't do it right before you have sex. Okay, that's the worst. Do it like a day before or at least several hours before you have sex. Something that worked for me was my girl and I would talk about sex. We were dressed, we were like having lunch together, and we would talk about sex. And she'd be like, yo, you know what, Rod? I really like it when this happens and then you do this and touch this, and I'm like, okay. And I just remembered that. And then later that night or the next day when we're having sex, I remembered what she had said. I didn't bring it up again. I remember what she said, and then I did it. while we were having sex. So that the spontaneity was there. It kind of felt like, oh my God, I didn't know that was going to happen. You know, that's how you do it. Okay. You don't just say, okay, now do it here. Okay. Now do it here. Okay. Does that feel good? Okay. Okay. Now I'm going to do this. Okay. Is this how you like it? More to the left? Okay. If you do it like that, there's no spontaneity. You're going to fucking kill the mood. You're going to fucking kill the mood. It doesn't work. Okay. But you got to talk to each other, and then later on, when there's no pressure, when you're not even really thinking about it that much, then you go into it. That's what worked for me anyway. I don't know if it'll work for you, but you know, hey, you know, I'm not a woman, okay? I don't know 100% for sure what feels good for a woman down there, okay? But I've been around long enough. I know my way around a vag, all right? Okay, I know where everything is, all right? Okay, but this ain't about me. This ain't about me, okay. All right. Well, the point is that the reason he can't get her off is because he thinks he's getting her off. Because she's faking it. And Carrie points it out. Well, you know, if you're so pissed off at him because he can't make you come, then why are you faking it for? Fucking tell him. How's he going to fix it if he doesn't know? Good fucking... I mean, what, are you trying to spare his feelings? I mean, wouldn't it be better that he knew what he was doing rather than, you know, than pretend? You know, I mean, come on. You know? So anyway... So Carrie's got a good point there. Of course, Miranda didn't. She's like, well, he's a nice guy. Well, if he's such a, why are you fucking him? Why are you fucking him, okay? You're not helping him any. What's he doing? Why are you even inviting him over? Jesus fucking Christ. If he can't get you off, that's your number one priority. If he can't get you off, then what the fuck are you even doing with this guy? I don't get it. Why is he even in your fucking apartment? Anyway. I mean, if he's a nice enough guy, then go read a book with him or go do some friendship shit with him. But don't fuck him. Anyway. And Carrie tells her that, you know. And she's like, well, he's a nice guy. And then Carrie's like, well, okay, well, obviously then you're codependent on him. You know, it's the codependency. Well, how come Carrie is so good at diagnosing all of her friends, but she can't diagnose herself for her own fuck up shit, okay? I keep seeing that, oh, I never should have farted. Remember that episode? Yeah. Okay, so William invites Samantha to his, they're hooking up, and he invites her over to the Hamptons. I got a place in the Hamptons. Just, we will have a great time, and we'll do this, and we'll go on the boat, and we'll go up the hill, and we'll get in the pool, and we'll get in the hot tub, and we'll, you know, using we all the time. So Samantha's like, oh, okay, that's fine. Okay, so they have sex, right? And then she gets all excited about it, and she calls Carrie the next day. Oh, but guess what, Carrie? We're going to the Hamptons. William's got a place over there. He invited us over there. I'm going to spend my summer there. Oh my God, it'll be so fun. We're going to do all this stuff, right? Yeah, right. Okay. You know what? If William only knew the truth about Samantha, right? Okay. So, so then we go back to what I was talking about before, Josh and Miranda, you know, he's having sex with her. He's like, oh God, I'm going to come. Are you going to come too? Are you going to, like, we need to see more of that, right? Like I said, that ain't the way I do it. But I guess on this show, that's what gay guys think that straight men, you know, maybe that's because that's how they do it, okay? When they're with their boyfriends. Just picture that for a second. Oh, no. Okay, but anyway, maybe I don't know. Maybe some straight guys do this. I don't know. I don't do it that way. Okay. All right. So, and when I see porn, they don't do it that way either. Okay. Okay, I'm getting close. You're gonna come. Anyway, so Miranda she's just like there with a bored look on her face. You know, and then she tells him, okay, I've been faking it. He's like, no, but you came every other time. He's like, no, I didn't. I've been faking it every single time. Well, all the women I've been with, they all say I'm great. He's like, well, you didn't know I was faking it, so how you know they weren't faking it? Huh? You know? So he's like, well, I'm a doctor. I can handle this. I'm not some charity case. She's like, you're an eye doctor. So he's like, well, okay, you got any tips for me? You got any tips? Huh? You got any tips? So she's like, okay, well, first of all, let me show you where the clitoris is. And like I said, dude, you know what? If this guy's old enough to know his fucking way around, he should know his way around a fucking bush. Okay? He should. At his age, he should. Okay? He shouldn't fucking need a manual. It's just fucking stupid. Like, he's a doctor, right? So he's familiar with studying, looking at pictures, writing reports, you know. Like I said, dude, the show's written by lesbians, gay guys, and feminists. So who ends up looking like a total fucking idiot every episode? Yeah, exactly. The straight guy. Okay. So Miranda's got to show him where the clit is because he didn't know where it was. And no, seriously, he didn't know where it was. She's like, well, you know where you think it is? It's actually 2 inches to the left of that. You're like, what the fuck? This guy doesn't even know where a clit is. What the fuck, man? Did he just lose his virginity yesterday? All right. So anyway, Charlotte's friend, Tom, I guess Carrie goes to Charlotte's place and Tom's there fixing something. I don't remember what, you know. And Carrie said, I'm like, okay, so you're leaving for Salt Lake City. He's like, oh, I'm not going anymore. No, I'm staying here now. And then he looks at Charlotte like, and Carrie's like, what the fuck's all that about? I said, oh, well, we're together now. You know, he's not leaving anymore. I need him here. Who else is going to fix my pipes? Who else is going to fix my refrigerator when it dies? You know? Who's going to fix my dishwashing machine? I need him. Carrie's like, maybe. So Carrie leaves and she's walking around talking to herself like usual. And she's like, you know what? Maybe I'm the one faking it. You know, this is a really good part. This is a really good scene. This is the heart of the episode, I think. And Carrie starts talking to herself and she's like, you know, maybe I'm the one faking it. Maybe it's me that's faking it. Maybe I'm faking the fact that I'm happy being single. Maybe I've been faking that I'm happy being single. That really hit me in the gut there because that is true. It's one of those truths that we don't want to admit to ourselves. You know, when we see other people in relationships and they look like they're happy and stable and stuff, but we're not in a relationship. Hell, we're not even dating anybody, you know, and, you know, we act like, oh yeah, it's okay. I'm single. I'm choosy. You know, I'm not, you know, I get to fuck a lot of people. I just don't have anyone serious. That's all, you know? And then you walk around and sometimes those moments, you know, where you're really honest with yourself, you know, when no one's around, you're like, you know what? I don't like being single. I wish I had somebody. It's one of those cold hard truths, you know? And I'm glad that they mentioned that there. I'm glad because it says a lot about Carrie's character. You know, she's not like Samantha or Miranda or Charlotte. You know, she actually wants to be with somebody. She actually is looking for something good, you know, a good relationship. You know, she believes in the fairy tale romance bullshit. You know, she believes in it. She wants it for herself, you know? So, hey, at least we know where she's on. We're on her journey. This show's about being on her journey to get there. You know, I mean, personally, I think that Samantha, Miranda, and Charlotte are just other aspects of her personality. Okay, but they're all really Carrie. Okay, that's what I think. They're all really Candace Bushel, I should say. All right. So yeah. So you know, so that was a moment of honesty there, just blatant, brutal honesty right there. Okay, so she meets Stanford at the party, whatever, with the photographers there. He's an asshole. He's like, yeah, I know I'm an asshole, blah, blah, whatever. Carrie says, hey, you know, you need to, she tells him, you need to, you know, dump him. And he's like, I can't. We got a timeshare together. Okay. So that's going on. And so what else happens here? Okay. So Carrie decides to get drunk at the party. She makes a total fucking fool of herself. She's all fucking like being an asshole to everybody, you know, and Stanford like tells her, hey, listen, you know, you need to cut this out. She's like, oh, fuck yeah, fuck that, you fucked up, I don't want to be single anymore, whatever. Meanwhile, Samantha gets stood up. She's supposed to meet Guillermo at the restaurant. He never shows up. She's all pissed off and sad and upset. So she runs into Seema. Remember Seema from And Just Like That? Well, her dad works there. He's a busboy, and he sees Samantha all upset and drunk. And he offers his, you know, his services. You know, I guess Seema's going to need a brother or sister, right? Okay. So Seema's dad propositions Samantha. Yes, I just said that. Seema's dad propositions Samantha. Because Guillermo stood her up. Because he was lying. He was never going to take her anywhere. He just wanted to fuck her. Okay, sorry. That's not actually happy. It's something to laugh about. Okay, but Samantha's clearly upset. She realized she was played. The player got played, you know, and she decides that, you know, she could fuck Seema's dad right now if she wanted to, but she decides no. She just gives him a tip, and she would rather not fake it. You know, despite the fact that she feels bad right now, her esteem's pretty low. She would rather be alone than fake it with Seema's dad. So there's that. Good message. Okay. Carrie is drunk out her ass at the party. Stanford already left. Okay. And guess who she runs into? Bradley Cooper. Yes, Bradley Cooper is there. She runs into Bradley Cooper. He plays some guy named Jake, I think. Yeah. And, but it's Bradley Cooper. Yes, Rocket Raccoon himself. Okay. So they kind of hook up and he decides he's going to take her home. He has to stop at a newsstand for something, I guess, to get some cigarettes. because they're both smoking. But she's drunk and she's gonna fuck him, right? And he sees her magazine picture, and he buys the magazine. He goes to the car. He goes like, "Is this you? Oh my God, this is you, isn't it?" And she looks at it, and it's the picture of her all raw, like, with the cigarette in her hand. He's like, "Oh my God, this is you." Oh, we're totally gonna do it. She's like, and Carrie has kind of like a moment with God at this moment, and she realizes that this picture, it says, single and fabulous with a question mark. This magazine is telling society that to be single and fabulous is a death sentence. It's not something to aspire to. It's not something, look at Carrie. Look at her. She looks like a fucking worn out fucking whore, This man had the train run through her, an alcoholic whore. That's what Carrie looks like in the picture. And Carrie at that moment decides, you know what? Just because this picture's saying that's what I am, that doesn't mean that's what I am. And that doesn't mean that's what I'm going to be. So I'm not going to act like that. So she tells Bradley Cooper, no, just take me home. He's like, oh, no way. We're definitely got to hook up now, And she's like, okay, then I'll just get out. And she gets out. She gets out of Bradley Cooper's convertible and decides to go home on her own. Yeah, Bradley Cooper. No fucking shit. Bradley fucking Cooper. Yeah. He's the guy that did, him and Lady Gaga did that, it was like the 18th remake of A Star is Born a couple years ago? Yeah. Okay. So that happens, which is a good message. It really is. I was kind of proud of Carrie for that. Just because this is what society says you are doesn't mean that's who you are. You decide who you are. Great fucking message there. Okay, so Miranda decides she's not going to see Josh anymore because he wants play-by-play updates every 30 seconds. He wants to know, does this feel good? Am I doing it right? Did you come yet? Okay, how about now? Now, are you going to come now? Okay, how about this way? Does this way feel better than that way? Which one? This way or this way? Which one's better, huh? Okay, how about now? Are you getting ready to come? Huh? And she just says, fuck this. And she's like, oh God, I'm coming. And then she fucking leaves, Why do we have to put ourselves through all that shit? Like, come on, dude, come on. This guy obviously needs to be with some prostitutes or something before he can go out there into the real world, He's not ready to wear his big boy pants yet, okay? So that happens. Charlotte decides after having sex with this guy, Tom, that she can't fake it anymore, okay? The truth is that she doesn't want to be in a relationship with this guy. She just wanted somebody who could fix the shit around her house, And he didn't want to stay in New York. The truth is he wanted to leave New York. He didn't want to be there anymore. He wanted to get away from it all. He was not sure about his acting career. So that's why he was moving to Salt Lake City, okay? To start a new life, and he doesn't want to stay in New York anymore. So they realized they were both faking it, okay? So they decided to break up, And they break up amicably, which is kind of cool. I like that, No one got ghosted. They just looked at each other like, yeah, it's not going to work, okay, Which is kind of cool. That never really happens in real life. I mean, it happens a couple of times, I guess, It happened to me a couple of times, but, Then we see Samantha throw a drink at William. I guess she tracks him down at the club. He's talking to some girl. He turns around. She throws a drink at him, And I'm like, okay, you know what, Samantha? You fucked a lot of guys, okay? I'm sure a lot of these thousands of guys that you have fucked over, probably a good percentage of them. How would you like it if every one of those guys that you fucked over threw a drink at your face when you were talking to another guy? Yeah, what would happen? You'd probably call the cops, right? You know why? Because it'd be fucking assault. That's why. Okay, so why the fuck is it okay for you to do that to a guy that fucked you over, but it's not okay for him to do that to you? You see what I mean? You hypocrite much? Yeah, exactly, okay? Okay, the guy fucked you over, okay? He's a liar. He used you for sex. Holy fucking shit, what a novel concept, especially for Samantha, okay? So fuck it, you got played by a player, move on. You have no problem going through guys like toilet paper, so just go through this guy. Big deal.